Hello and welcome to Philosophy 115 Introduction to Logic at Bristol Community College. My name is Mia Wood and I'm looking forward to working with you this semester. So this video is basically a hello and an opportunity to tell you a bit about the course, give you a tour so that you know what we're going to do, when we're going to do it, how we're going to do it. And then, of course, if you have questions, problems, confusions that aren't answered in the syllabus, the success tips page, or the facts page, please let me know. I am here to help. I have office hours, but I can also meet with you outside of office hours, and I'm looking forward to supporting your success. So, a little bit about our course. What we study is arguments. We study what an argument is, how to identify argument elements, techniques for evaluating and constructing arguments. We'll get into some details of formal and informal aspects of argumentation. So, what we're focused on is how reasoning works, when reasoning works well, and more specifically, how reasoning works and when reasoning works well in specific modes of reasoning and specific systems of reasoning. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at our Blackboard course. Again, if you have any questions, problems, confusions, let me know. I am here to help. I want to support your success. All right, so here we are on our course landing page. Our course landing page is the Let's Get Started page, which is the first link under course information. So you've got a bit of information about me, photos, so you know who your instructor is in some sense. I hope I get to see you either during or outside of office hours, which I host on Zoom or via Zoom. Then we've got our Philosophy 111 facts page, our netiquette or facts info, our netiquette info, the latter of which I've just taken from our college resources. If we scroll back up, let's take a look at the navigation links on the left, right? So under course information, we've got our syllabus. You want to take a look at that when you get a chance. We'll look at a little bit of it together. Then we've got our schedule at a glance. This is taken from the syllabus. And then if we pause here on this page, the schedule at a glance is laid out in the same way as each of our course weeks is laid out. So if I scroll down and you see week 1, week 2, week 3, and so forth on the left-hand navigation strip, you'll see that the weeks aren't associated with specific dates. The dates you can find by going to either the schedule at a glance page, which is where we are now, or you can download the syllabus or open the syllabus. We'll come back to that. So here we are in week 4, for example, in the schedule at a glance. If we click on the week 4 link, we see that the layout is basically the same. So every week is laid out the same. We've got objectives, we've got resources, and we've got assessments. So you're going to access the text through the textbooks link. More about that in a little bit. But the additional resources, so the videos that I've created, I've offered later in the semester some videos I curated from outside sources, but you'll also access through the relevant week your assessments. More on assessments in a little bit. Okay, so every week lays out the same. So, for example, week 1, week 2, you get the idea, all the way down week 14. Right? Okay, so I also have given you a calendar if that's helpful to you. And you've got your My Grades page. Notice that on the My Grades page, you've got due dates. Bear those in mind. We're going to come back to those in a little bit. Due dates are there to keep you on track. Deadlines are different from due dates. So again, bear that in mind. Let's see. Now let's go to communications and support. I try not to make too many announcements. I don't want to clutter your inbox. But I do make announcements if there's something pertinent for you to know about. So please keep an eye out for announcements. The email link you can use to email me or your classmates. Although I hope that you'll use my BCC email, mia.wood@bristolcc.edu. It should also be in the Let's Get Started link. Yeah, here it is. Mia.wood, I'm sorry, at bristolcc.edu. Anyway, let's go back to email. So the reason why I ask you to use the Bristol email is because I tend to look at that more than Blackboard. I just, for some reason, am not as much in the habit, but I should go to Blackboard email daily. Then we've got a general class discussion forum. Use this general forum to ask questions, share information with classmates, and so forth. This is really for you. I do try to swing by to look at the discussion forum to see if there's anything that's posted which I should address. And then there's the academic and technical support link, which the college provides. Now, here's an important bit of information for you. Our textbook is embedded in our Blackboard course. There is no textbook for you to buy. This optional textbook you might find helpful, but the required textbook is basically an assemblage that I made, and I also contributed some original writing so that it's an assemblage of ideas, skills, charts, and so forth that are just sort of part of any critical thinking course, any introductory to logic course, for the most part. There's also stuff, like I said, that I added. So if you click on this link, you'll get to the PDF. My advice is that you download it and have it, somewhere that's easy to access. That said, when you're working a quiz, for example, you can either, or I said that said, I should have said this. So download it so you have it for easy access. That said, you can always, access it via Blackboard. When you're writing a quiz or an exam, my advice is to have the assessment, if you can, side by side in a window with your textbook. So whether you're working on a laptop or a tablet, you can easily do that. Phone, not so much. But you can always, you can still take assessments using your phone. So we've got the textbook and then answer keys and discussions. Practice is really important for us. So be sure to work as much practice as you can. Okay. Then below the textbooks, textbook links, we've got the work on the course links. So let's talk a little bit about what you're going to be doing with respect to weekly items. And that may, in discussing that, I may make clear the importance of practice. So every week you've got some assessment or other to complete, almost without exception. So for example, you've got reading quizzes and discussion forum work to complete, and you have exams. Reading quizzes and exams are all true, false, multiple choice. And then the discussion board is an opportunity for you to sort of talk through, write through, think through the material. So I'm going to click on the discussion board link. So look at discussion forum 1. You've got, and the discussion forums are laid out the same way. There's an overview, a sort of a sample, instructions. Sorry, I said sample. What I should have said was instructions, and then typically like a worked example to help you make sense of what you're doing. I idea is that you think through a concept, you talk about a skill. And by talk, I mean, you write. But if you're not really a big fan of writing, you can always use voice dictation. Just speak through what it is that you're doing, and then edit that work in, for example, Word. I think Google Docs also has voice dictation, so you've got options, right? So it's really important for you to think through and exhibit that thinking by way of these discussion forums. That's one way that you're going to practice. I'm going to back out of this. Oops. Back out of this discussion board link and go into the reading quizzes link. The reading quizzes are opportunities for you to become conversant with terminology, and also to exhibit the results of skills that you're building. So all reading quizzes, like I said, are multiple choice, true, false. If anything ever looks, hinky to you, if you say, hey, I'm pretty sure I got this answer right, Blackboard's telling me I got it wrong, but the feedback is telling me I got it right, let me know. Every now and then I inadvertently click the wrong answer choice, like as I'm going through and updating a quiz or something, and so mistakes happen, but it shouldn't be the case that this happens with any regularity. But if something looks strange, let me know. Okay, I'm going to close this link. So you get a sense of, like, every week, what we've got going on, and it's, like I said, it's all laid out the same way. So now let's go to the syllabus so that you can see, I hope, in more detail what we're doing in terms of our assessments. I'll leave you to peruse the syllabus on your own, but I do want to focus on quizzes, forum posts, and exams. And then I also want to tell you something about the aforementioned distinction between due dates and deadlines. So you've got 3 assessment types: quizzes, forum posts, and exams. And the quizzes and the forum posts are meant to help you practice for exams. The exams, like the quizzes, are true, false, multiple choice. Quizzes and exams are auto-graded, and there's auto-feedback, and the feedback's pretty detailed. So you should get some help, whether you've got an answer, whether you've worked an exercise correctly or not. The feedback should either reinforce or help explain your answer. That said, I am here to help. So please let me know if you want to go over a quiz or go over an exam. I also want to point out that because our work is really focused on building skills, there are retests. So more on that in a little bit, but just know that you can think of every original exam you take as sort of like a baseline. How did things go? If you say, oh, wow, the exams went well, then you might not want to retest, but I'm going to encourage you to retest regardless. More on that in a little bit. Let me tell you a little bit first, though, about the due dates and deadlines. I know that stuff happens in life, and so you might miss a due date. Don't worry about it. Unless the due date and the deadline date are the same, you've got windows, pretty sizable windows in which to complete your work. I do not encourage you to let work pile up. That's not what you want to do. But if you fall behind, don't panic, because you can catch up. You and I can meet to discuss a catch-up plan, but just know that, if you're working on something and then, you get distracted or you get called into work or something happens that makes you miss a deadline, don't panic. The assessment will be open unless, again, the due date and the deadline are the same, and that's just end of the semester, okay? If you have questions about that, let me know. Let's go back, though, to the course site so I can tell you a little bit about extra credit quizzes and retests. So that's the link at the very bottom of the work on the course set of links. It's also the case that if you go into, oh no, I'm wrong. Sorry. Ignore what I just said. Let's go into the extra credit and quizzes and retests. So here's what I want you to understand about the importance of practice. Every exam has at least one retest. So exam 1 and exam 2 each have 2 retests. I take the best of the 3 scores. So if you only take one of the exam 1 test, for example, and you score like a 95 and you don't want to write any other test under the retest options, great, you don't have to. The 90 something score is what I log. But if you're struggling, don't panic. Because you've got retest options. Again, I take the best of the 3 scores from the retest options for exam 1 and exam 2. There's only one retest for exam 3 and exam 4. I can explain why, but suffice it to say there's just the one for each. I encourage you, regardless of how good the score is, retest. It's great to solidify your skills, okay? If you want to talk more about my thinking behind offering you retests, please drop into office hours or make an appointment for us to chat, and I can explain. So I really want you to be successful, and suffice it to say the retests are ways to support that success. There's also extra credit on some particular material, again, with an eye toward you having more practice opportunities. But the practice really is meant to occur by way of your textbook, right? So I just clicked on under the textbooks link. I just clicked under our required test, or I just clicked our required textbook link, which brings us to the text itself. And there should be plenty of practice. So if you scroll on down, there are hyperlinks that take you to various places in the text. Please note that practice typically occurs at the end of a given subsection. So here I'm under section 3, chapter 2, section 3, subsection 2. And I've given you a bunch of material, and then at the end you've got some exercises. Okay? If we go back to our required textbook link, answer keys and discussions is the link I've just clicked on, right? You've got, again, hyperlinks. So chapter 3, can't remember what exercise set we were just in. Hold on. I'm going to click on the tab again. This was chapter, did I say chapter 3? I meant to say chapter 2, I think, exercise set 7. Hold on a second. Did I just find a typo? Let's see. I'm going to scroll all the way up to the top. Section 3. Yeah, this should be chapter 2. Should not be a typo. I'm just scrolling. Where were we? Chapter 2. I got confused. Chapter 2 and section 3. I was thinking, oh no, did I have a typo? Anyway, so chapter 2, section 3, number 2. Chapter 3, I think, and then that was exercise set 7, I think. Oh, I've got myself confused. Anyway, so see, this just shows you it's easy to get confused. Let's do this. So let's go back. Let's fix this up together. Chapter 2, section 3, number 2, or subsection 2 on validity. And then I scroll down to exercise set 7. So chapter 2. Oh, I'm in chapter 3. No wonder why I messed up. Chapter 2, exercise set 7. Okay, this should be correct. Ha! We did it together. So if you've noticed, I got discombobulated, I don't know, for some reason, digital technology, especially if I'm saturated with it, will get me discombobulated. So what you've just witnessed, if that looks familiar to you or sounds familiar to you, maybe do what I do and, download and print stuff out, or, download and put items side by side. So what I mean by that is this. Let me so I might pull this tab out. Let's see if I do this right. Oops, nope. Pull this tab out. Then what I might do, let me size this a little bit. Then what I might do is pull this tab over. Right, I know I'm making this harder than it needs to be. I don't know, I'm using Chrome, and I don't know in Chrome on my laptop how to easily do the side by side, basically the split screen. But here we go, right? So if you do the side by side, if you use the side by side method, it makes it easier to navigate your way through the digital versions of the textbook and the answer keys. Whew, that was exhausting, wasn't it? Okay, so all right, so basically I'm pretty sure that this gets us through everything we need. Like I said, this is meant to be just sort of a course tour to get us started. If you have any questions, problems, confusions, let us know. Let me know. I'm here to help.